Hi, today I'm going to talk a very important topic that is brain, mandala, the psychology of drawing yourself calm. What if I told you that one of the most clinical validated tools for anxiety, burnout, and emotional dysregulation, it is not a pill, a breathing app, or even a therapy session. It's a circle, right? So I am a clinical psychologist and a psychotherapist. And in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly what happens inside your nervous system the moment you pick up a pen and begin drawing a mandala. We are going to go deep neuroscience, ancient psychology, and an understanding of mandala art. Because here is what most people don't realize the calm you feel when you draw it is not aesthetic, it's a biological. And understanding why it changes everything about how you use this practice. Let's, what is mandala? What's this, from where this mandala comes from? It is a Sanskrit word. It means a sacred circle, and across every major civilization, Hindu temples, Tibetan Buddhism, indigenous American traditions, the stained glass rose windows of Notre Dame, humans have been drawing them for thousands of years. So, but here is what it gets fascinating from a psychological standpoint. Carl Jung, one of the founding fathers of modern psychology, he didn't just start mandalas academically. He drew one every single morning as part of his own mental health practice. He believed, and I quote from his own writing, that the mandala represented the wholeness of the self. He saw it as a instinctive attempt to organize chaos into center and order. And today's modern research, like we have the neuroscience to prove him right, research published in peer reviewed journals on art therapy consistently shows that structured drawing, specifically the kind of repetitive, symmetric, outward from center motion that mandala creation requires, measurably reduces anxiety, lowers physiological stress markers, and increases a person's sense of psychological control. Now, let's understand more about the neuroscience, the brain science, your credibility centerpiece shift to whiteboard or B-roll diagram. Let's understand about the neuroscience more. So, let me walk you through what's literally happening in your brain when you draw. There are three key systems at play, and understanding them will change how you approach this practice. So, amygdala downregulation, repetitive motor movement, it signals safety to your threat detection center. Cortisol production, it gets drops. The alarm turns off. Vagus nerve activation, slow, deliberate strokes paired with extended exhales stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system via the vagus nerve. Alpha wave induction, rhythmic drawing shifts brain waves from high frequency beta into the alpha, the gateway to flow state. And when prefrontal cortex reclaimed with the threat center quiet, your executive function, decision making, emotional regulation, it comes back online. What the mandala drawing does is shift you from a state of sympathetic nervous system dominance, your fight or flight mode, into the parasympathetic activation. And what's extraordinary is that it accomplishes this through the body, not the mind. You don't have to believe it will work. Your nervous system will respond anyway. So, this is what we call a bottom up intervention in clinical psychology. Most of us try to regulate our emotions top down by thinking differently, by reframing, by rationalizing. But when your stress response is fully activated, your prefrontal cortex is literally offline and you cannot think your way out. Right? And it's like a hijacked nervous system. You need to move through it, through the body, through the hands, through the pen, etc. So let's every day 5 minutes just practice. You just need a pen and a piece of paper. You don't need to be very creative also. And if you don't have those, I want you to trace along mentally. The psychological effect is more about the attention you bring than the marks you make it. So here, before we touch the paper, We start with the nervous system. Take a breath in through your nose, slow, full, deliberate, and now exhale through your mouth, longer than the inhale. Let it be audible. That exhale is your signal to your vagus nerve that you are safe. Do that one more time and begin the mandala. Slow pacing. Now place your pen at the center of the page. Draw a small dot. The dot is your anchor, your psychological center of gravity. From that point, everything it radiates outward. So it makes you feel calm, measure. Begin drawing small shapes around the center, petals, triangles, simple lines. It doesn't matter what they are. What matters is the quality of your attention. Notice the feeling of the pen moving. Notice the pressure. Notice how each stroke is deliberate and complete. You're not planning, you're not performing, you're just drawing the next line. So I explained, like, expand outward, a second ring, a third notice something. The chaos of your thoughts begins to slowly quiet, not because you forced them away, but because you gave your nervous system something predictable to hold on to. This is what psychologists call attentional anchoring. Your mind releases its grip on rumination when the hands are something purposeful to do it. So, this practice regularly, if you do it, I think first you have to allow yourself one more ring, and then stop. Look at what you created, not as an art, as evidence that for the last few minutes you were fully here, fully present, not in a meeting, not in a worry, not in a screen, just here in the center of your own sacred circle. So this also helps in psychological integration. Why this matters? Because the deeper clinical case, and then, in a clinical practice, we use mandala drawing as a therapeutic tool for anxiety disorders, trauma recovery, ADHD, burnout, because it offers something that most of the interventions don't. It's non-verbal, non-judgmental, and immediately accessible. It bypasses the cognitive resistance that often comes with talk therapy. You don't have to find the words for what you are feeling. You just have to draw. That's it. You just have to draw. And many researchers also proved, and a study published in Art Therapy, the Journal of the American Art Therapists Association, it found that drawing a mandala as compared to free drawing or coloring in a plain pattern produces a significantly greater reduction in anxiety. The structure matters, the center matters, the outward movement matters. This is not creativity for creativity's sake. It's a neurologically in practice, designed even when done intuitively to restore psychological equilibrium. So, friends, you don't need a diagnosis to use this. You need it some very beautiful day, just start afternoon or evening when everything feels like too much. You need a moment before a difficult conversation. You need a Sunday morning that you want to begin with intention. Yes, great. The mandala is a portal, 3 to 5 minutes into your own stillness. And it is like, give you a very soothing and very calm experience. And friends, if this resonated with you, I would love to see what you create. Draw a mandala today, even a tiny one, and share it in a comment. There is no wrong way, there is only your center. If you want more at the intersection of psychology, mindfulness, creative practice, subscribe, because this is exactly what this channel is about. And next week, we're talking about the neuroscience of journaling or something else. Why the act of handwriting is one of the most underrated mental health tools we have. Until then, sign off, be gentle with yourself, and keep drawing. I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Take care.